trying to calm my rage. um, and I'm writing. I've just got my head down and I'm writing. I have been told pretty much to keep out of what's about to go down and just mind my own business and keep focused moving forward. So that's what I'm doing. So, as you know, I have spent many years writing stories and ideas for video games and kids shows and that sort of thing because I want to build like a entertainment streaming service where you get everything under the one roof. My sons and I were just starting to work out like how we were going to go about with subscriptions, like how people would pay for subscriptions and what we'd give away for free and that when all hell broke loose with them. So obviously I'm just plodding along, putting the finishing touches to everything because obviously when I find a country to immigrate to, I need to be able to have all of this stuff written out because I want to come in on things like business visas, entrepreneur visas. There's like charity visas. There's all sorts of visas I could be coming in on. So I need to get everything sorted because basically once I find where I'm going, the first thing I need to do is start my games company. Before anything, I need to start getting these games out and I need to get my streaming service like getting all built in the background. And then once I find a location to actually build the school, then we can start looking at the TV shows and the movies and all that sort of thing. But the absolute first company I have to set up will be my games company. And one of the ways that I wrote my stories is to help. I've infused everything with a biorhythmic algorithm so that the people who listen to my stories, the people who play my video games, especially like with VR helmets and that sort of thing, they're going to have a real like psychological interactive experience, which gives me the opportunity to use my games and videos, even if they're horrors, even if they're rom-coms and that, my cartoons, things like the Dear Satan Cause, my Hellowismas animated movie, where the little girl Erin accidentally writes to Satan instead of Santa because she's only just started learning to read and write, and then Satan has to fulfill this little girl's promise because there's no Dear Satan Cause in the laws of the universe that he wrote. So there's going to be like a whole big animated movie done in the style of like Operation Prep and Landing. You know, kind of big fat chunky graphics, but with a great deal of humour. And whoever does the voice of Satan, he's got quite some shoes to fill. So yeah, so I'm sitting here writing. Now I had a dream where I climbed to the top of the middle of the pyramid in Giza and Nikola Tesla was sitting there with his um, elbows on his knees and his hands, like his chin resting on his hands. And I got to the top and I said to him, "You're all right?" And he goes, "I'm trying to figure out how you did it." And I said to him, "It wasn't for you to figure out how I did it. It was for me to figure out how I did it." And he goes, "You know, you could do that. You know, you could time travel with this." And I looked at him kind of like, "Wait, what?" And he goes, he said, "You know, you could time travel with this." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And then he just kind of laughed and vanished. So I've spent all morning since I've been awake, trying to figure it out what he meant. And I've just figured out what he meant because I'm sitting here. I've just written another episode 2 of The Time Jumping Detective, which is going to be our version of Doctor Who. And instead of, while he can like go to other planets and stuff like that, he's more like he is like not that I believe in alternate universes and other dimensions, but basically he travels down the probables and possibles of history, the things that probably could have happened, the things that possibly could have happened, as opposed to the things that did happen, which is the present. He travels down those lines. So I've written 2 episodes, The Busybodies, and the second one I've just finished writing is The Cookie Cutter. So then it got me thinking about that, because obviously he has to go through time portals, which he uses through his compass. And then I'm sitting here thinking, if you bought my gaming chair and all of it's, because like how I've designed my gaming chair, you can buy everything individually and enjoy any of our video games and things that you want to interact with any singular part of the gaming chair, whether it's just the controllers, whether it's just the chair itself, whether it's the bits that you put around the chair and stuff like that. It doesn't matter what part of my gaming chair you buy. I call it the MENA system, the Modular Interlocking Network Archetype. And when I've got it all patented and it's out, you'll know what I mean by that when I'm putting it on display. But I had to bring into question the morals and ethics of what it was that I was designing, because I know that the second my gaming chair hits the market, there's going to be knockoffs. However, my gaming chair will come with a written signed guarantee that you will have access to everything you upload. You will have access to all your records, that at no point will we give any of your information to anyone. And that we will never interfere with any form of direct energy weapon mind control stuff, because the way that my biorhythms work, you've seen Elon Musk has already tried to copy it and screwed up monumentally with his Reiki of Doom picture and all of that. So people think they can copy my algorithm, but they can't. They don't understand that the key to unlock it is my actual physical me, my personal me. It's like my blood, my DNA, my genetic history, my everything. And doing the more versions you make of me, the weaker it becomes, the more dangerous it becomes. So when you get my doppelganger like Elon Musk, who tries to copy everything I do, he like tries to mirror image me, but he's like the negative version. Everything he does comes back on him. In the reverse, everything I do comes out in the positive. It's for healing. You like my candles, you use my sprays, I can get rid of ghosts. I can get rid of like the demons in your head. I can get rid of all the trouble within like a couple of country mile radius. Everything I do is scientifically proven, because everything I have created is for the purpose of inviting people to come and heal. Whether it's from the tale of Lucian's dragon, which teaches, the freaks, geeks, nerds, dorks and weirdos about what's going to happen should they choose to go through an ascension process and heal. Bearing in mind it's children that are going to be helping us make this, so they're going to be healing while they help me make it. So when you engage in anything that I put out of the radio, over the radio waves, over my streaming service, my video games, my TV shows, my movies, whatever, there's going to be a healing effect where you're not even going to realise that you're sleeping better at night, that you're not fighting with people at work, that you're making better choices, that you're eating healthier, that sort of thing, and you're not even going to realise it. Suddenly the paranormal activity stopped because I'm having access to the part of your mind where the glitches in the matrix are. So I have to come into my moral and ethical standing and let everybody who engages in anything that they interact with me, that they're in full control of the experience. Because I'm telling you, like, I've come up with my son and I, who was helping me with all my Halloween based stories. We came up with a couple of games where you would be using a VR helmet, is really going to mess with your head, but at the same time, there's a legal waiver, and the way that we've written it in is so that to bring you out of that experience, there's things that you have to follow before the game ends to bring you out of it. Because I had to take moral responsibility for the minds that I was going to be gaining access to. And then, so yeah, so there, when you buy any part of my gaming chair system and you interact in any of my services where, it's helping you heal subconscious kinks in your armor that you didn't even know were there, that have been sitting there since childhood, or past life traumas and all of that, like the way people interact with everything that I create is going to be like a life-changing experience for them. So I have to be aware. I take moral responsibility for what it is that I'm putting in and putting out, which is why I get so angry every time Elon Musk keeps trying to copy what I'm doing, because he's getting it wrong and he's hurting people. Like, people are actually getting hurt with what he's doing. And so I have to come in and fix everything. And I don't really want to, because I just want to focus on the healing aspect of it. Now, getting back to the Nikola Tesla thing, what I started to realise is that the way that I've written the time jumping detective, which is our version of Doctor Who, if you if you are sitting in my if you're sitting in my gaming chair with its full, with the whole package, and you're watching that TV series while you're sitting in the modular system, you're going to feel like you're time traveling. You're actually going to feel like you're going through the same portal as him. And I think that's what Nikola Tesla meant. You can time travel with this. So to enjoy the full time travel experience, I think I'm going to be able to promote the TV series with the gaming chair. So, like, I might do something where, like, if you buy the full gaming chair, you'll get the TV series download for free. Like, you'll get it for free so that you can enjoy the experience. It should work with the VR helmet as well, but I think the way that I've designed the gaming chair, if you sit in that gaming chair while he's, like, not so much like in the old days of like wearing 3D glasses. Oh my God, this just reminds me of that dream I had when my dad said it starts on Arab soil. And I was talking about wearing the VR helmet. Oh, I'm in a time loop. So a dream I had a couple of years ago, I'm experiencing right now. Because my dad was Egyptian, you see, so... Oh, that's funny. If you're all listening to this, we're literally in a time loop. You're sitting inside a dream that I had a couple of years ago. The time jumping detective. Oh, Master Tesla's so funny. Oh, that's funny. Well, there you go. So, see, now that's the other thing. That's just blowing my mind. Yeah, so I'll be able to sell the time jumping detective to enjoy, like, the experience of what it is like to actually go through these time portals and that with him while you're watching the show. You're going to feel like you're going there with him, like he's taking you along. because when how I've written it, even though he's got like talking to characters in the TV show, he's talking to the camera like he's talking like he's broken the fourth wall. You know, like he's talking to you. So he's bringing you along. It's a whole interactive experience. And it's kind of like you're watching from behind. You're watching him from like a third person thing. So you're going to be a whole part of that experience when you watch the TV show. But if you are sitting in my chair while you do it and it's full kit and caboodle, when he goes through those portals and he's seen all the things that he's seeing and that you'll be able to see it too, like you've gone through wormholes. That's so funny. I'll put the link in the description box. My dad said when I was on a quest to find Jesus, I had a dream where my dad said it starts with Arab soil. And I was talking about how in the dream I was going down a tunnel, I had like a VR helmet on. And that's literally what I'm sitting here doing. Because the dream started with me in Egypt. my dad's Egyptian, so that's funny. So you're sitting in a dream with me I had a couple of years ago. That's hilarious. So yeah. So my gaming system, if it's not mine, when the knockoffs come out, and there will be knockoffs, you won't have the guarantee of the protection of your anonymity and your identity and stuff like that. You're going to be in full control of what we have access to, and at no point will any of your stuff be given to any third party at all. And you have our 100% guarantee that we won't be recording anything that you do in your booths. That we're not here for the spying. It's a total. You just enjoy the entertainment experience. And then, by the time people are uploading their stuff onto my streaming service and stuff, I'm telling you, when you're sitting in the way I've designed it in its full capacity, and you're enjoying it the way that I've designed it, it's gonna blow your mind. The only, the only moral and ethical part of it for me comes from where it could become like an addiction for people who choose to live in the box and not live in the real world. So there needs to be some sort of thing where if you've had it on for too long and it's not because you're recording an album or something like that, or recording a video, like that sort of thing, there may have to be something where it gets shut down and you can't get back in until like you've had a rest or something, because like as a mum I couldn't bear the thought of people climbing in it, because I'm telling you now, if you engage in what I've designed in its fullest experience, not only are you going to experience what it's like to go up into space every time we send our space navigation system up, but one of the things that I was thinking of doing in the future is opening it up for people who are terminally ill to be able to see where they're going after they die. So I have a moral obligation. I even thought about, like, with our space navigation system, I talked about it with my niece Amber, who I just lost recently, having some of her ashes to take up, because I got her a star, the Amber Diamond. You can look her up. She's a real star in the Cygnus constellation. So you'll be able to be a whole part of our time travel experience. I know what that feels like, so nobody's going to be able to write that better into any kind of video game than me. And also when we go into space. And if I can get to the point where I can make those shuttles safe enough, then I would absolutely put terminally ill people in them and let them go far up enough where they can see over like the Earth's atmosphere and that, and maybe have a wee talk to their gods and ancestors or whatever. I had to talk to my sister about it because she's a nurse. She's a palliative care nurse. And I said, like, would we need like a team of doctors and nurses in case? Because I would be fully anticipating. I would be fully anticipating some of them not being alive when they came back down, but my chair would be able to monitor all of that. Their loved ones would know that there's a possibility that when they come down, like they've already crossed over. So that's going to be up to them. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm going because I'm an Egyptian high priestess. You see, this is my domain. So this is what I think Master Tesla was talking about, and I just had to put it out there. My TV show, The Time Jumping Detective, is, like I said, our version of Doctor Who, but I'm also thinking I wouldn't mind to do like a kids' TV show where they have to solve some stuff as well, you know, like your Enid Blyton sort of Secret Seven, Famous Five sort of thing. And then as well, because I've been talking about it on YouTube, we need to do our own kind of like Goonies. We need to do a kids' adventure one that's a bit sort of like Goonies, I think. Absolutely. So, yeah, so I just wanted to put that out there. Um, I figured out what Master Tesla was saying. So, yeah, I have to live by my morals and ethics, and I don't want people engaging in anything that I create and it turns into anything negative for them, where it's feeding into paranoia or neglect, you know, where they forget to eat, where they forget to feed their kids, that sort of thing. So I'll have to like bring in some sort of thing where it's like if you're engaging for too long, we're going to have to, like, you can have your stuff uploading in the background, that's fine, but everything else is going to get shut down because we need to know you've had some sleep. And I'll call it the mum mode. We're going into mum mode. You've had it on for 10 hours. We'll be back on in 8 hours. That sort of thing. Guaranteed all your stuff's uploading in the back. All your messages have been, you know, taken care of and blah, blah, blah. Just go and get some food and get some sleep. Like that sort of thing. So, yeah. So I just had to put that out there. So now I've just blown up my own mind. I'll put that dream in the description box. So yeah, that's what my dad was talking about. That's pretty cool. Well, at least it proves Jesus is real. Because that was the whole quest I was on when I had the dream. It's just my brother trying to get all the attention again. He's like God. He needs the world to constantly be reminded that he's real. We know he's real. You got to have all the attention. Just kidding. Right, I'm going to go. So I had to record that because that's just friggin'. I'm going to have to sit down with some engineers and yeah, how it's going to be. It's going to require a lot of investment, but if it's engaged with correctly, you're going to see mental health numbers drop. People will go off medication. People won't need counselling. People won't need therapy. People won't need psychics and mediums. If they do, they're going to be ones that I approve. It means they passed the test. Yeah, so my sons and I developed like a whole pile of interactive experiences, whether you're sitting in the booth or wearing the helmet or just playing the video games with controllers and that. Like it's like this whole become like this whole entertainment kingdom for me that I created as a single mum to keep my kids busy while we were waiting to get justice for something that ended up being a lot bigger than what I thought I was up against. I thought I was just up against some ex-students and ex-husband or future ex-husband and all of that, not realising I was up against Donald Trump, Elon Musk, the British government, like everyone. I've ended up having to defend myself against everyone. But it made me the most powerful woman in the world because now it's all coming down, isn't it? And that's funny. Did you see that thing that Donald Trump posted with him in the big golden armour? I almost fell over because that's so the Quantum Menace Part 3. And Quantum Menace Part 2, it ends with Art Morda, which is, I realised later, was Elon Musk falling into the abyss. And Part 2 ends with Heracles landing at the end of the game. And then Quantum Menace 3, which is going to be our version of like Star Wars, the conception of Heracles, is about how the Quantum Menace Mutant Legion go back in time to the birth of Heracles to basically erase his history so he's never born, so that he's never created. And he's literally a brain in a mech suit. And the way the way the picture was done, he looks like a head sitting inside a massive golden mech suit. I couldn't believe it. So, yeah. So with this whole thing with Mr. Tesla and the direct energy weapon that Trump's uncle stole, the conception of Heracles, I'm going back in time to undo stuff, aren't I? Because it was Nikola Tesla's direct energy weapon that they used to, like the January 6th riots and what happened in Southport, and any time anyone gets in a car and runs people over and that, it's all caused by that energy weapon. But mine's the opposite. Mine wakes you up. Mine stops you from being controlled. Mine gives you, my system gives you complete control over what you think and feel, because it's the only way you can have an ascension. Because evolution is biological and organic. You can't force evolution through AI and technology, because that's like juxtaposed to the word evolution, so that's not evolution, it's programming, and programming isn't evolution. It defies what the word evolution means. So yeah, so I've come along with my little MENA system and QE2 Games. I've decided I'm going to call my games company. I was going to call it Gemstone Games, because dragons give birth to gems, not eggs. Believe it or not, that's another thing that people get wrong in mythology. And I've decided to call it QE2 Games after Queen Elizabeth II, because she's been my sidekick throughout this whole, taking down Astama and Bill Gates and and all that, trying to save the monarchy with my algorithms, and also because my space navigation system, I want to call it Red Lil. So I would say that her code name was codename Red Lil, Red Elizabeth, because I think she looks gorgeous in red. She's like the lady in red. So yeah, so my space navigation system, I want to call it the Red Lil. So it's like a wee tip to her, but she also liked video games apparently. So she liked playing on the Wii and that, which means she would have loved my MENA system, some of the games that I've designed for that. So I'm going to call my games company the QE2. QETWO QE2. Because in New Zealand, that's what we called her, Queen Elizabeth II, we called her QE2. So it's on like all the army insignia in that QE2. So yeah. So I just had to put that out there. Everything just came full circle and you jumped through a time loop with me. How fun was that? I'll put the dream in the description box. I'm going to go and get a drink now. I shall speak to you later. Ka kite anō. Mwah.